people from all over the state, are here and helping. And the state troopers came over to our area and said, man, we hate to do this, but we're going to have to ask you to leave. And the homeowner said, look, man, it's going to rain tomorrow. I got now to do this. And, the state trooper looked like he wanted to cry, and he said, man, I'm sorry, but they're making us make people leave.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Brad the Guitologist here. In this video, you're going to see a phone interview that I did with my friend Bosco France, who is from the Dawson Springs area. He grew up down there and he lives right nearby, and today he was doing some work. And he said that he was kicked out of the area and everybody around him was kicked out by troopers and Secret Service. Hey, what's up, Bosco?
Hey, buddy.
So what happened, man?
They have set up a perimeter around Dawson so that if you're not a resident, that you shouldn't be there between the hours of 6 and 6. And I'm from here. I'm from Hopkins County. I'm, Western Kentucky boy, and I could not be more proud or blessed to be from here, because people here do it, man. Like, if there's something that needs to be fixed, they're out fixing it. Everyone was going to be going to Dawson today. The judge, Executive Jack Whitfield, and Mayor Kevin Cotton said, go out and help. If you can go to Barnsley, because a lot of people will be going to Dawson, and another Bremen, Kentucky.
Yeah, that one's bad.
Muhlenberg County, which is
gone.
That's Moes Rager and Earl Travis country for all our guitar player friends.
Yeah.
And so I left there today, and that's the place that the train got picked up and set on its side, like on houses.
Yeah.
And I talked to people and tried to do anything I can, which you feel like so little in something like this. I cut down a bunch of trees and helped out, and I can't lie, it's pretty self-serving. It felt pretty good to do that.
Yeah,
so
no doubt.
I went down to the area that I used to play at this little bar. It's an American Legion in Dawson Springs, Kentucky. And all my friends and all the guys I grew up playing music with, that's like where all the players lived at, was Dawson. So I felt that I needed to go there, And the first thing, I ran into an old buddy, Mike, and his family were looking for pictures. There was a gentleman that was trying to tarp his roof. He wanted to save all that he could, in his home. And so there were a crew of guys from Elizabethtown. There was people from all over the state, are here and helping. And the state troopers came over to our area and said, man, we hate to do this, but we're going to have to ask you to leave. And we were cutting trees right by where the Dairy Queen is in Dawson for a landmark for anyone that's from that area. And the homeowner said, look, man, it's going to rain tomorrow. I got now to do this. And, the state trooper looked like he wanted to cry, and he said, man, I'm sorry, but they're making us make people leave.
For what?
And so they rerouted traffic, and I drove all the way through Dawson, through town today when I first got there, and there's a heavy police presence with sheriffs and things, and you figure there would be. I just didn't understand that the reason there was is because they were kind of funneling us down to one area, you know what I mean? And so once they got everybody out of that area, they closed the roads. They won't let the residents back into their homes that live there, or drive around north or south on Interstate 69, which was the meeting point where the judge executive had us meet this morning at 8 o'clock. They'll be doing the same thing tomorrow if anyone would like to help. But because the people of Dawson Springs and Barnsley and Arlington and just everywhere are pretty self-sufficient, that the hours are more important to these people of daylight than anything else. There are supplies all over the place, dotting the map down there on all corners, where they have kind of done like you suggested in an earlier video, maybe like bring pallets of things people are going to need, just drop them off and leave them.
Yeah.
And they did that. And so, I mean, everything today was really amazing to see people working and just not even talk to each other, just like wave and hold up your saw or a hammer.
Yeah.
Or, there were a couple big old boys there, like big, strong country boys, they flex, and you grab those fellas to come move your heavy stuff and get on the trailer. But
I know the type.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of them fellas down here in Kentucky. You got to watch what you say to some.
I know the type. Yep.
And so what was funny is, where the marathon is, that's essentially where they routed everyone to, and said no one can come through or to this point. And there were some people there, and they got a couple things at the store, and they were on foot. And I said, man, that's you're probably going to need a little more than that. And he's like, man, well, we got to walk. I'm like, no, you don't. I'll take you down there.
Yeah.
And I could see the street that I needed to go to. Literally a block, and then turn left. I wouldn't be going into the area that they told us not to go in, but they still wouldn't let us go. I had to let this guy out of the car with them groceries and walk. And again, another state trooper, he just apologized. He's like, man,
so you hang on for one second, boss, because we haven't talked about why they're doing this. You're saying that because Joe Biden decided to come down there and get his photo opportunity, that they were making, you had to actually drop people off who needed help, who were already in your car. You were taking them home to take their groceries and everything they needed home, and you had to set them loose to walk because this dude needed a photo op.
I guess I don't.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at the news, and it says that he was going to go to. He was actually going on the ground to tour Dawson Springs, which, I mean, I'm of two minds on this. I understand that, him drawing attention to Dawson Springs is a very good thing, and it's good in that respect. But if they're actually turning homeowners off of their own property when they've only got so much daylight to get stuff done, to get tarps on the roofs and make everything waterproof before tomorrow it rains again.
All I can speak to is what we were told. The state trooper said that because of motorcade,
that's what that means, a motorcade.
I'm saying that. I don't know how he got there. You figure they could land a helicopter or something. I don't know, but there's not many ways into Dawson Springs, so to speak. So it's it is what it is. You come up 69 if you come through Nashville, and if you came through Mayfield first, that's your neck of the woods. He would have been coming like from Paducah way, so it still would have been 69. I assume that's why. They told us we had to leave, and it just seemed.
So it wasn't just you. It wasn't just you, though. They were
needed a lot of needed publicity to our area, but I mean, he was in Mayfield, and that's pretty close. I mean, I know that it's important that people come by, but like today, just make it a state of emergency, and I don't know. I'm not a president.
Same here, man. But here's what I could see, Bosco. I mean, when I was down there, my experience was this: that every single thing, every stitch of clothing, every toothbrush, every bit of toothpaste, all the dog food, cat food stuff, everything that was dropped off. I mean, if they sold it at Walmart, you name it, it was there. And people had bought this stuff from all over the region, all over multiple states. Stuff was coming from hundreds of miles away. People were pulling up in trucks. I mean, just citizens who had filled up some truck or some long trailer to be completely unloaded here in just the one center I was in, and then I visited several others that were full of stuff. And this was all regional and local citizens and local EMS and people who responded locally. This wasn't a federal government operation
No,
by any means. At any,
these are people.
yeah,
I mean, there might be volunteer fire department or something like that.
that's what I mean.
You know,
Yeah,
we're kind of rural and spread out, but no, these are just people who care about other people, and I hope that's why he's here. I just watched a little bit of the press. I can't lie, I was a little irritated. You know, I'm a lot irritated. We were pulled off of moving and clearing roads and driveways. Not roads, that's not fair because those have been done
yeah,
by the linemen and the amazing crews from all over the country. But, you know, there are a lot of people in Dawson that are over 60 or 70. It's not the wealthiest community in Kentucky by any means, you know. It's not like, so I mean, you got what you got, and the people are doing what they can, and it's heartbreaking and beautiful at the same time, man. I mean, I've cried a couple times today, but not for the reasons you would think, man. It's like the resiliency of people. There were these two old women on Barnsley Loop today, and I felt stupid. I asked that woman, I said, is there anything I can cut or pull or help you load? Is there anything I can help you with? She said, if you could help me rebuild my house. And I thought, wow, maybe not the thing to say, dummy. You know, Bosco.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
think of something better to say. I just hugged that woman, man.
I tell you what, have somebody come with some with a big pallet of wood, and maybe we can get started. I mean, that to me, that's where the federal government and the FEMA and stuff can come in later and help a lot. Is they have to be able to work with the lumber companies and stuff to bring in massive amounts of this stuff to rebuild if that's what they want to do.
We were talking about that today, a friend of mine actually, and we were wondering if when something like that happens, because a sheet of plywood's now what, $40?
Exactly,
like
and why is that? It's because all the inflation.
It's gotta be less than that, for us to buy it and rebuild the house, because insurance pays so much on a claim, but you have to get the materials. And if your house is appraised for so much money, but the building materials cost so much more, then you're going to get a lot less house.
Well, I mean, you're going to get less house for the same money of whatever insurance will pay out if you get an insurance payment. But I think at the same time, for the people who, if they get disaster relief, like federal insurance, disaster relief, I mean, that will probably only go so far too, and that's just going to add to the inflation that's already in the economy for this.
I was saying this: if the old boy can make everybody happy and get everything fixed, and then his visit was definitely worth it.
Yeah.
And maybe it is to other people. I don't know. Maybe I should speak for other people, but I know that there are a lot of people in Dawson Springs that were confused when I left. I get to leave. I don't live in Dawson Springs anymore. I live in Madisonville. I live, I guess, 11 miles as a crow flies.
So you got a bed to sleep in. They don't.
I have, I'm blessed. I mean, there is I hate saying it, but like a survivor's guilt kind of thing where you just want to give everybody everything you have, because, my kids are safe, and I got 4 of them. My wife is safe. Our home, it didn't suffer any damage. And then you drive a mile or 2 miles down the road to Earlington. It might be just a mile from where I'm at. And the devastation there, or 20 miles the other direction in Central City. Dawson is behind me. I mean, it hit literally all around us.
Yeah.
And so you feel like you really somehow dodged a bullet, in some manner. And so all the people here are just helping everybody. And something I'd like to mention, a friend of ours has got a gymnasium. They donated a gymnasium, and they are doing toys because Christmas is in a week. And I know some people don't have a place to go, these kids are still going to want, you know, a doll or I don't know, just anything to
I can
make
tell
some
you,
kind of normalcy better.
not to interrupt you, Bosco, but I can tell you just from what I saw, man, the generosity of people has been so overwhelming that I think the kids of Dawson Springs and elsewhere are probably going to have the best Christmas they've had in a long time, because like you said, they're poor families, and they probably didn't have a whole lot of Santa Claus even in years past before this. And but I think they will this year, because the generosity of people has really has melted my heart and turned it from stone and softened it up a little bit, honestly. Because
I tell you what, man, it's been really remarkable. I almost feel like I did 10 or 15 years ago. Like everybody's just walking around hugging each other.
Yep.
Everyone's asking to help. Everyone is from a different place, different nationality, different color. I mean, Kentucky, I don't know about your internet viewership. I'm sure it's all over, but you know, a lot of people, I'm sure, think, you know, we're a bunch of sister kissing, 12 sandwich eating, no shoe having blokes.
blokes.
Some of that's true.
Yeah.
The shoe part for me, but I mean, it really is just about the people and community, and it really does make you forget about anything. I mean, for me, honestly, all political stuff, other than a guy being named president, like, I don't even care. It doesn't matter to me. It's the same as if Bill Dundee whooped Jerry Lawler or Jerry Lawler whooped Bill Dundee. It's all kayfabe. I am apolitical. I just don't think it matters that, you know, who's in there. They're going to do something crazy because they're probably all aligned with somebody else over them. I don't know. But you know, if the president was of an age where he could maybe pick up some debris and help, that would be great, you know? Like,
yeah.
You know, that if
I mean, like I was saying too. I mean, you know, obviously I have my political views and whatnot, and it's not the fact that you know, he is who he is or from the party who he is. I think that if they had scheduled it better, you know what I mean, or maybe waited until a time when it was a little bit more together, or there was like zero possibility whatsoever that they could still find somebody alive. Or when it was after the rain had already come and gone, you know, where people...
I mean, I'm sure that if his supporters hear this and think we're bashing him, they're going to say that, well, you know, he's darned if he does and darned if he don't. That's probably true.
Yeah.
You know, the same thing could have happened if anybody else was president and it was a Republican. The thing is when I got home from being told that I couldn't be where I live, essentially...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
That's my spot. Like,
well, I mean, for all the people, it's like get out of your house and leave it here, you know, with the big hole in the roof, with no tarp on it, and only so many daylight hours left. You know,
and he's still not there yet. Like this is the thing where they close the entire way he's driving and won't let a car around or by him on the other side of the road or this side of the road. So, like, a stretch of interstate in Kentucky right now is completely closed, and the highways.
Bosco, I mean, I'm with you, dude. I think
that's a lot. And so, when I got home, I turned on his news conference where he was in Mayfield because I thought, man, I got to be wrong. There's got to be some reason. And I'll be honest, I don't think I could hear him speak. And maybe this just devastated him, and he's tore up about that. But I mean, I didn't get like, man, this guy's going to lead us through this. I didn't feel a strong, you know. Andy Brashear did. Man, he's been great. You know.
I tell you what, as much as I dislike Andy, you know how I dislike Andy for his some of his responses and the things that he's done. But I thought, you know, I mean, you could feel that Andy was devastated. It was real for him.
He's got a cousin down there, man.
No, I know.
You know what I mean? Like,
I know.
He's from Kentucky.
Yep.
And I listened to that press conference, and it took the president about 2 seconds to say red or blue. And that told me all I needed to know about all I needed to hear about anything he had to say.
Yeah.
You know, like, and
well, he was talking about like, oh, this is unprecedented storms and it's caused by climate change. They're going to seize on this for climate change
he
stuff.
called what happened here a hurricane. Anybody that's went through high school or received a GED could probably tell you don't get a lot of hurricanes in Kentucky. I mean, we are landlocked.
And again, for people, why
about a hurricane is that you usually require being near an ocean. I would think.
So you have to be at least a couple hundred miles from the sea, surely.
I'm pretty sure. Kentucky Lake's not an ocean, is it? Okay, fair enough.
I don't think.
No, I mean, it does sound like I'm not apolitical when I say stuff like that. I just like a mild intelligence. You don't even have to be like super smart. Mild intelligence. You're super smart, you're going over my head.
Yeah.
But a mild intelligence.
And that's the thing too. I mean, we've had talks before, you and I, and we've put up videos before where we just talked about stuff. And man, we weren't. We were equal opportunity bashers, I think, for the most part. I mean, there was a lot of stuff that Trump did I don't think was right, and you know, the same. So.
I mean, I thought that he was different. Like, when it first happened, I was like, ooh. You know, I can't lie, because, you know, it's like, what, the Iron Sheik's going to win the title? Ooh, this could get interesting. Again, kayfabe, none of it's real. There's a good guy and there's a bad guy, and they put us on sides, and it becomes a sport, and you want to root against the other guy instead of, like, go help your neighbor. You're stuck watching CNN or Fox or Emma. You're not outside growing a garden.
Yeah.
Or being very godly if all you're doing is, so, you know, get a saw and go help your neighbor.
Yeah.
And if there wasn't a storm where you live, go cut your neighbor's grass if he has a hard time doing it. Carrying your neighbor's groceries for her if she's having a hard time. Like, you know, if there's a kid in your yard, instead of just telling him to stay off your damn grass and him becoming a delinquent, maybe show some interest in it. Like, any of these things help the overall situation.
Bosco, you know? That's what we're here for, man. You said it. I couldn't have said it better. That's what I believe we're here for. And I tell you what I saw down there in Dawson Springs, man, I'll be forever changed. I think I will, because I've never seen destruction like that, but also, like you said, I've never seen brotherhood like that either.
Never.
The Amish people, man, I'm telling you what, their
bread's so good. Their bread is so good.
Yeah, I know it, right? Everything they make's good. But dude, they're good. They're good people, and it's just like I think they're a model for how to live, because it must have been every single Amish and Mennonite person in the area came to help. It must have been, because there were so many of them.
An unhealthy Amish person?
Nope.
Have you ever seen an unhealthy Amish person?
No, I have not. And you know what was funny? Somebody left a comment on something the other day, and they were like, somebody had asked one of the Amish people in an interview or something, it's like, aren't you afraid of COVID, you know, and all this stuff coming to your community and all this? And they're like, no, because I don't watch TV.
Well, you know, that's the other thing, and not one side or the other, because if this is going on YouTube, God knows what they'll do to you. But I haven't heard one person ask another person at all about that. We're all taking stuff to each other, and some have masks and some don't, and, you know, you can respect the law of the land where you're at, the people, read the room, I guess, but nobody down here has said a single thing. No one's ran from anyone. When someone's like, can I give you a hug? They say, please, thank you.
Yeah.
You know, at a certain point, there are bigger things in life to worry about than a cold. And I realize that this has been really hard on people, and it is my sister's handicapped. She is one of the people it could really hurt. She's had her vaccinations. My mother, she's older now. She's had her vaccination. My father. So no one's anti-vax or for vax. I'm just like, if I want to do what I need to do, and I don't have a fever, can't I just go to the store if I need to, or go about my day without feeling like I'm some kind of criminal for no reason. Like it got to that point.
Oh, we're on the same page on that.
Here,
yep.
We don't know about any of that stuff anymore, man. Like it or not, call me glib or intelligent. It's something we're not concerned with right now. We're concerned with making sure people are really alive. You know, with making sure that people have water, food, you know, and whether a person brings it in a mask or not, or if the person's of a different political party or even a different color, people down here in Kentucky do not give a damn, sir. We're thankful to have each other right now, and I pray that we remember that when in 6 weeks, when the news cameras are gone, and because we'll be the ones left here dealing with this. And you know, if the indication early on is you know, a looker to the outcome of things, that we're going to be just fine, man. We took it on the chin pretty hard, but you know, when you get knocked down, you got to get back up.
Yes, like I said about the Christmas, I think I believe that the kids are going to have the best Christmas they probably had in a long time for that area, just from what I saw in the donations coming in.
I'm not going to say best, but I bet it'll be the most
thankful
Christmas.
Yep.
You know, and for some people, I was in the store today when we ran back to the marathon, got my little energy drink, needed it. I felt all good. I've been sawing trees, helping people, and like I said, these people are getting just enough. You know, I was like, man, I know stuff's bad down here. You don't have any power. He's like, oh, we got a generator. I was like, well, then get enough that you don't have to walk back to the store tonight, you know. And this other man came in, and he just had this sad look, but not like the other people. And the guy's name I was talking with and kind of helping, his name was Jeremy. He's a very nice guy. And he had I'm assuming it was his wife and his daughter. And he talked to this older gentleman come in. That older man had just lost his brother. And he can't go back to his house. He's just stuck up there in a store, visibly just lost, you know. And that man walked over and said, I'm very sorry to hear about your brother. And, you know, it's like, what do you say to someone? You know, there have been so many horror stories, but the good outweigh the bad, and I guess you got to look to the positive.
Yeah. Well, one of the positive things, like you said, the guy who set up his gym, do you have information on where people can send toys or whatever to that cause if they want to?
That's Stacy Skinner is a realtor in Kentucky and Madisonville here.
Can you spell that name for people?
It's Staci Skinner, Skinner, and it might be followed by Spears. I'm not sure about that part.
Okay, Stacy Skinner. Okay,
and she is in charge of the toy donations, and those are going to be at the old Waddle Avenue School in Madisonville, Kentucky.
Okay, well, how do you spell Waddle Avenue? Waddle.
Waddle. I hope.
Waddell. Okay, Waddell Avenue.
Well, I always called it Waddle.
Waddle.
But I'm from Western Kentucky. Proudly from Hopkins County. We're some tough SOBs here.
So the Waddell Avenue School.
Yeah, she's doing that, and
I presume she's on Facebook or.
Yeah, she's on Facebook.
Okay.
The local bank here, and I can get that information and send that to you. When I say local, it's local. It's a small bank. They are taking donations, and from all signs, those are really going to the people.
Yeah.
because it's a local bank, and I will make sure I get you the correct name of that. I feel like it's Independence Bank, but I want to make sure about that.
Okay.
But I mean, you know, like Texas has been through a lot of rough stuff the last couple of years. California with fires. I mean, like,
The fires in California, man. Yep.
To a bad day. So, you know, be kind to your neighbor. You'll need them.
I tell you what, like I said, this is you're right, man. You're right about all of it. As far as you know, what we're here for, and to love each other and stuff, man. And I've been realizing that more and more as I've gotten a little older. So, but thanks, Bosco, man. I'm gonna let you go.
Man,
and
thank you, brother. And I'll keep you posted. If you get back down this way, it looks like right now, we're just cutting trees, and all the big tree trucks all over the state, and like Arkansas, and you know, the surrounding areas have come down. And I want to tell everybody from my gig last night in Evansville, Indiana, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the donations. We had a van full of stuff to take to the Arlington school today, and it was awesome to get to be a custodian of those goods for a little bit. You know,
that's awesome, man.
Facilitate something. Well, take care of yourself, bud, and I love you for what you're doing, and thank you for coming down here and helping our community.
Well, I aim to come down again probably Friday. Are you gonna be maybe doing it again Friday, or?
I will be doing whatever anyone needs me to do.
All right. Well, I'll see you. I'll tell you what, Bosco. I'll see you on Friday then. How's that?
Sounds good, buddy.
All right, man.
Take care of yourself.
All right, buddy. Later.